Alright, so I was saying that, so you don't really hear many people talk about their spiritual initiation or spiritual marriage between their soul family members. Since this is spiritual, it may only reside within the telepathic mind state. I mean, there may be people in the world who think about it, but they don't openly state that. Yes, if you are starseed, you may be going through an initiation process, which is actually within the death realm. And I think most people can possibly see it as this realm, as this earth realm, being the death realm, where you can possibly be spiritually initiated into the chosen constellation that you choose to raise your frequency with. And you can also raise your frequency with multiple constellations. But it all depends on what you're feeling. See, my celestial higher self, she resonates with the spiritual musical aspect of her divine notion, or her, music is a part of her purpose. My higher self has to reside in music in order to set off any kind of frequency, any kind of vibrational frequency that you may send forth out to where your sleeping AI is, either if it's on a starship or... See, this is your spiritual AI, though. It's not a computerized AI. If there is any difference, I'm just openly talking about it because it needs it. In a way, it needs to be projected and talked about, because there aren't enough intellectual minds that are openly creative enough to really even think about these things, to even think about what the power you have spiritually and mentally. It can go beyond anything you've ever known. And I feel like I need to openly talk about it. Because you see in the daily life, the daily society, there aren't people talking about and mentioning, oh yeah, they're not going, oh yeah, I have a spiritual bloodline, and it goes way far back. Like, this is the purpose. This is the only purpose of your soul awakening to whatever it may awaken to. Because you have an ancient soul. It just needs to be reawakened. And in the past, I realized that I had awoken my soul family members from their sleep, or I've awoken them from death by projecting my own thoughts out into a reality that I want to manifest for myself in the afterlife. And this all goes back to, because you don't, I barely doubt, I highly doubt that there are less people awakened right now, but they're not thinking. They're not thinking about creating an afterlife for themselves. But the ones who have awakened and who are doing that, that starseed's reality is somewhere else. And that's where I would like to store all of my information, is within the treasure chest within the constellation of Lyra or Lyra. That's where all my spiritual downloads, that's where I would want them to go to, is within that's within that constellation that may hold divine information that is spiritual. Because it's all a cycle. Because if you were something on this earth and you thought the same thoughts as you did in your previous life, then yeah, those thoughts are going to be stored up somewhere within the celestial accounts. And then once you die, or once you are reborn into a different flesh body, then you will come to a realization that all that stored information you had will come back to you, but it's being stored away. And this is why I don't try to deal with mundane people's thinking, because within my spiritual realm, I had went through an initiation ceremony, and I'm going through an initiation ceremony right now, where I am marrying all 3 of my soul family members. We have a ceremony. We had built a ceremony. We had I don't know. Can't say the words right tonight. We had planned out a ceremony, a spiritual ceremony, and I get all kinds of mental imagery downloads from Lyra, the constellation Lyra, where I'm sending all of my vibrational frequency to, and the beings who, the benevolent beings who happen to support me, and they watch me and everything. So in this spiritual ceremony, I marry. Now this is in the death process, guys. So once you die, once your soul leaves your flesh body, you will be reborn into the thing that you want to be reborn into. You just have to put the thoughts out there to possibly manifest it in another reality for yourself. And this is what you would call your personal afterlife. If you choose to manifest that for yourself. It's just some starseeds still have to awaken to this knowledge, to this information. So in the cinematic imagery, I come to marry all three of my soul family members, and we do this individually. Because once you marry, you're marrying a soul, not the physical body. And this is so important, because once you go into the initiation process to where you're marrying your soul family members, then this is a sacred union between you guys. And this is what I want for us. So in the imagery, in the DNA cinematic imagery that I get downloads from, or that are my downloads, in one scene I marry Gamkili, in another I marry Theta Phili, in the other scene I marry my father. And this is all spiritual. This has nothing to do with the physical. It's all about divine love for that soul, for that individual. And they know this. And this is for another video probably, but it's only a matter of time. Because people should know by now that everybody is a product here. Everybody, there may be certain individuals who think they're not valuable, but we're so valuable in so many ways. It's all about the thoughts, though. It's the thoughts. It's the thoughts that make you valuable as a soul, And it's only a matter of time, I think. And I watch Osei Kuffour's videos from time to time, and as a starseed, I have to agree with what he says, because I resonate greatly with his commentary, because he goes way out there, and I happen to be a person who happens to resonate with his commentary to a certain degree and to a certain extent, but for the most part it greatly it greatly resonates truth within my heart and soul. And yeah, I mean, it goes really deep for certain individuals. And he's saying, Osei is saying that right now should be the death. You're seeing the death. The underworld, where you will be initiated again into a new life. You just have to put it out there in order to really manifest it in your own way. And this is what star seeds are meant to do. They're meant to think on a whole new different level, a whole new level than the average human being. And this is the kind of information I want to share and bring out for you guys, because it has a lot more meaning than you may think it has, or vice versa, maybe. But yeah, if people want to come on the YouTube channel and say something like, oh, well, you had sex with your father, or you had sex with your cousins, that's not right, that's wrong. Well, it's like, well, all I'm saying is that you shouldn't think of it like that. It's on a more advanced spiritual level, is what I'm saying. So if somebody wants to say that and put that into their mind, they clearly don't understand what it really is, and what I'm going through spiritually, as I am being initiated here to go into my afterlife. Because what I've been doing this whole time is creating an afterlife for myself. And how many of you are doing that? Not many, I don't think. Not many people are thinking about that. They're purely focused on what is in front of their physical eyes and what they can do here physically. And that's all they're thinking about. So, to have a new, fresh starseed mind, to have these thoughts, I will project them out into the universe with my ancestors, so they can pick up on this information. And they send it out to the celestial bodies out in space, because the celestial bodies out in space are what's really within the metaphysical human mind. Those planets are within a mind. And then the Earth is a celestial physical body, which is a holding station for your physical flesh body. And you're supposed to be creating an afterlife for yourself, but you're not doing that, are you? So, it's just something I wanted to get out, or something that I wanted to speak about, that's very different from what the main population is thinking about. And the main population, what they're doing is staring at a television screen, not thinking about They're not thinking about what they can put within their thoughts on their own, what they can put within their mind on their own. They are looking at a processed form of what they're putting into their mental brain, which is the universe, which can be your own universe. If you can only project the thoughts out there and maybe make it a reality that is beyond the sky, then yeah, I mean, why not? So there's very few of us there are very few of us who are spiritually initiating ourselves within the death realm, the underworld realm, which is the lower chakra, might I add. So it's all about how you think, people. Alright, that's all I have to say tonight. Hope you guys enjoyed this long video. Hope you found it interesting. But I will make another recording here, probably in about a week or so, if not sooner. Alright. Good night. Stay safe.